Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at World War II Rebuilder. Now this is the world rebuilding arcade slash sim, which is something similar to the Power Wash Simulator, the car mechanic simulators and so on and so forth. Mostly about collect resources, use common sense, and if you don't have, just hope you're gonna get lucky. And this game essentially is you are rebuilding stuff after or during World War II, so you're digging holes, you're reconnecting pipes, you're welding, you're crafting and so on and so forth, just to make the place a better, well, place to live. When it comes to the game's requirements, the minimum GPU required is a GTX 1050 Ti, and the recommended GPU is an RTX 2070, so in all honesty, rather modest requirements for the game. Setting wise, as you might expect, we're going with an epic preset. Full screen 4K, native 4K, no frame rate limit obviously, and FOV is slightly cranked. Now this game does not have anything like DLSS or FSR support wise, but if you go with a custom quality preset you can adjust multiple of options like the shadows, the post-processing and whatnot. Now this game does have a weird behavioral thing that if you actually save and you quit the game and you relaunch it, it might change some settings, so you kind of need to double check before you go on. But honestly, it's not like it's gonna, up the settings or crank the settings up for you. It's actually the other way around, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, let's have a look how it runs. I did try to do the tutorial stage, and we're gonna do it again just so you guys see how it is. So we're just gonna restart it, and it's actually pretty decent. Let's listen to the exposition first and we'll go from there.
My big brother, Gilbert, died at, as Churchill called it, the British Empire's finest hour. He was a Spitfire's pilot during the Battle of Britain. This sky-high fight, which lasted for months, seemed to herald the end of the kingdom. Our victory only limited the scale of German air raids, which were carried out only at night during the Blitz. The number of those killed was in the tens of thousands. From July of 1940 to June 1941, the possibility of bombing our home was part of the life of every citizen. And yet, a few years later, British troops took part in the campaign that finally liberated Europe from the Nazis. At the time, I was too young to enlist. The war took my brother from me, and I was refused to avenge him. However, I think history has imposed on me another duty of no less importance. A country ruined by war requires rebuilding. People are waiting for a roof over their heads, for jobs at factories, and for the end of starvation rations. So, from my family farm, I set out to help with rebuilding the country for the future of all of us.
Right, so here we are. And as you can see, the game is pretty much your expected sandbox environment. So you can choose multiple things you're going to be having, which is what you're going to be repairing with what. So you have a blowtorch, you have some brush, some hammer, something else, paint roller, and metal. Now before you think why you have always something in your hand, it's quite obvious, because you are rebuilding. And the way this game works, you gather resources, and everything that's highlighted you can actually pick up and use for yourself. So to be fair, it's kinda easy to understand, and at the same time it's a little bit weird when it comes to it, because you will see that the game itself kinda tries to hold your hand, but it also doesn't really do that. So for instance, if you use these resource gathering spots, you will be running back to these spots. I haven't seen a single penalty for me carrying everything around. And I did try to put all of this in, and then I had to take like 5 trips back, so that's one of the things. So yeah, cutting all that off, let me just cut off this metal real quick before we move on. Come on. There you go. So, before we continue all this, which is not going to be too long to be fair, we're using 8.4 gigs of video memory allocated. We're pulling 8.4 of RAM as well, which I think is some sort of conspiracy here. And we're kinda 60-ish frames. Now, granted this game is a little bit big in scale because all the objects do have certain physical or physics properties, and certain environments can be destroyed by yourself or rebuilt for yourself, so I wouldn't be too surprised that the game is running like this. At the same time, you don't need to worry about playing this game on epic settings because, as I said, this is a sandbox game, so even though you see these particle effects and stuff like this, you won't be really looking at them to enjoy, so just keep that in mind. Also, this is more about doing your own thing in your own pace, so just be wary about that. You're gonna rebuild the well, and we'll go from there, really. So yeah, now, when it comes to this game's rebuilding stuff, you kinda need to understand that majority of all this is based on your exploration. So I already finished this particular location, so I kind of know what to do and how. But in general, I would say there's no point of rushing. There's no time limits, there's nothing. You can literally just walk around, see what's where, and just soak in the views. This is not exactly an open world game for now. You will get more and more larger areas to explore and, to be fair, repair, so you don't have to worry about it at all. So we're gonna just quickly craft a roof, and voila, we have completed the main tasks. Now, you might think, oh, but this was very quick, and I do agree with that. The thing is, these games are not exactly resource hungry per se. It's more about you come after a long day and you just chill, you vibe, you do whatever you want to do. If you want to rebuild anything else, you can just really, you know, kind of just get into the habit of just chilling, you know, get yourself a nice drink and just slowly rebuild the cities, because the progression system in this game is supposedly you just start it and you just start working with one area at a time, and the areas expand more and more. Essentially, you will learn how to drive machineries and how stuff works. And I do believe that for the size or the scale of this game, it's actually running pretty decent. There are a little bit of hiccups here and there, but I'm not too surprised, to be fair, because all of this, it does look good. And, you know, as I said, epic preset is probably not something you really want to have at all times, so it's literally just more about, hey, have yourself a good one and, you know, don't worry too much. As long as you know how to repair stuff, and the game will literally tell you how to repair stuff, there's no need for you to be competitive against another bricklayer. Now, this game does not support co-op, it's single player only. There's no leaderboards, at least I haven't seen one. So yeah, it's just one of those things, really. Okay, so we need to clear the tracks, fix the station wall, build new canopy, fix the roof of the station, remove the damaged tracks. So quite a few things needs to be done here. So let's go for a gander here. Hammer demolition tool, okay. I would wanna say you can definitely start with just demolishing stuff first, and once you've demolished enough you can just pick up the things and just go from there, really. And don't worry, in my opinion, going back and forth to that area where you can deposit the stuff, because honestly I don't think you will be too worried about that in the long term. Finish other actions first. It looks like there's a lot of other actions there. Okay. This is quite relaxed title when you think about it, and to be fair, it's a little bit of shame there's no music playing because YouTube is a little bit twitchy about that, but you kind of get the idea. Let's see how easy it is for us to cut this thing. Looks like we're missing something here, which is not too surprising. Okay, that's done. Not enough space. Okay, so we would need to go and get rid of that a little bit. Construction site. So yeah, we would just kind of go there. So let's start by getting rid of stuff in these locations first. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is for this particular game. And it is kind of cool, you know, like I do like having games where you just don't have to worry about too much. And just seeing how stuff works out after you clean it up. It is rather nice. I'm just gonna clean this area up. And yeah, as you might imagine, performance is kinda on the dot here. If you play these games, I do believe you probably will know about the performance of these games more than I will ever do, so that's how it is. Looks like we're getting a lot of different materials here, which we will use to essentially just kind of rebuild everything, really, you know. Constructing buildings. Oh, see. Okay. Start building. Wrong position. I see. Okay. I think this looks nice. One thing it did not tell me is what do we need to Start building. Large platform canopy, a modernly designed canopy that provides travelers with better protection against rain, snow and sun. Building quality is a lot, and we need 50 of something. I would assume we need 50 of metal. We only have 48. Okay, fair enough. So I think we can just okay, quickly do this here. And that should be it. Like 5 metal. I guess we probably need to get rid of this first. Or maybe not. Who knows? Oh well, guess I'm not really good at building stuff. So be it. So be it. We'll leave that to the actual professionals for time being. So I'm just gonna stick to something I'm good at, which is cleaning stuff up and then going from there. But yeah, in general, as you see, this is how it takes. In your own pace. Just take your time and do it one by one. So I think there is some good things to get here. Specifically, if you're into things like this, you know, you're probably just gonna be absolutely fine. Yeah, I actually kinda would like this game to be co-op. Rebuilding a city with friends would be, in my opinion, a little bit more fun, in all honesty, but hey, what do I know? What do I know? Install new trucks. And all this also needs to be done. So as you can see, it's a bigger area already. But anyhow, I think you guys actually seen how this stuff looks and runs and what you're required to do. So, you know, kinda roll up your sleeves and it's gonna be fine. Also, area quality currently is barely half a star. And I cannot really blame them for it. I think that was a whole building that just went there, so yeah. But anyway, I think you get the idea. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all next time. And do give this game a chance. If you're into games like this, that is. You know, if you're not, then that's fair enough. Then it's absolutely fair enough. Just need to figure out what goes here. Yeah, we need rubble. Anyhow, see you next time. Over and out.